Go.
Hey. Ready. Yes.
Ready.
You wanna
Help me help you. That's what I thought she was saying.
You do dinner?
You gotta help do dinner?
Really?
Thanks, sis. Hey guys, this week on the homestead, we are picking wild grapes.
Oh, Dad.
We're cutting up our cantaloupe from the garden and
Disaster.
and harvesting other things. We're moving plants indoors to try to grow things inside this year.
Some new growth happening.
We're working on our back porch. Putting a back porch on the cabin. We cut down
I
another...
wouldn't call it a back porch.
Okay, well that's what I've been calling
It's a back awning.
It's a back awning, soon to be a future porch.
Yeah.
There's no porch to the porch, but there's an awning to the porch. Is it okay if I have a piece? Thanks for sharing. So there's a awning to the back porch, and we'll talk about why that was important to do that. We cut down another tree, but that was because the foundation is rotting.
This is not good.
And are we talking about what happened with the tree while we were cutting it down, or no?
The tree fell in the house.
But we learned a lot.
Stay tuned. Check it out. That was a big deal. We found out that the foundation, some of our foundation posts are rotting away and we need to replace them. And we'll explain why, all that. It's all coming up. So it was
Stay tuned.
a big week. But you know, we're always keeping it fresh.
We're keeping it real.
We're keeping it real, guys. Like this is us.
We do not intend to make so many mistakes.
But mistakes are how we learn. Right?
All right, guys, so we have a major issue with our cabin. Our foundation is rotting away. So we did these locust posts as the foundation every 10 feet, which we probably should have done more. What we had is what we did. I read a book on log cabin building, and it was a book written like, I don't know, in the late 1800s, and it was amazing. It was about this guy who just goes in and cuts the trees right off the land and builds him a log cabin in like a few weeks. And he basically, like for his foundation, you know, he just cuts these posts and puts them in the ground and piles rocks in and moves on. The book talks about like cabins that have been standing for like hundreds of years. Anyway, and so that's what I did. I just cut down these locusts and put them in the ground. I, as you can see, did not debark them. So let me show you what I found the other day. Saw some of the bark kind of falling off of our posts. And get ready. This is what I discovered. From the outside, all of it looked fine until I pulled the bark off and then found what was inside. It's completely like just dissolving away. Now, you might have already realized this is not a locust. Not all of the posts we did were locust because we ended up not having enough from the locust tree that we cut down. So I just used some other posts that we had. Some of them are actually an old telephone pole that we used, which is treated, and those are fine. And the ones that were fully debarked are fine. And so I do think that was my major issue with some of these logs where we did not remove the bark are rotting away. And I guess just the moisture gets trapped in there, then the bugs love that. So this is obviously a nightmare. Our cabin is like gonna fall down. The solid core is still good, so we're not like, you know, we're not, I mean, I don't know. We're pretty emergency status on this one. So that's what I'm dealing with, and we have to replace this one, obviously. So I'm gonna go around and see what other ones need to be replaced. I'm gonna start peeling the bark off. The other issue is not only the post itself, but then also like down where the bark is peeling away, it creates this gap from where the cement is to the post, which then water can get down, only further rotting the log. So we haven't come up with a clear plan yet. We've talked to some friends and come up with some ideas. Some include either just going with like some cement blocks or taking these out and just putting in new posts. If we do that, which is what I'm leaning towards, is doing new posts. And if we do that, then we will stick with the Locust posts only. And so I need to go around and figure out how many of these are as bad as this one and need to be replaced ASAP. Guys, this is not good. All right, so we got some major work to do. The other thing is we need to put some flashing up underneath to keep the termites from going up and into the cabin. So what we need to do with the future posts is not only debark them, but then, let it fully dry out and then treat it with linseed oil. Of course, we want to, we don't want to treat it with anything toxic.
We are harvesting wild grapes.
They are way up here in the tree. And they are delicious. What did we do last year with them? We juiced them?
Yes, they were.
I want.
All right, I gotta go higher.
How are we gonna do that? Oh, Dad.
There's also a ton over there.
It's sour. I love sour. You love sour? What are we gonna do with the grapes this year?
We'll probably juice them again.
Okay. These grapes are amazing, Mom.
Now, Jake, make sure they're always in the clusters because I am seeing some Virginia creeper.
What's Virginia?
Virginia creeper has things that look like grapes, but they're not in clusters. They're in like this one over here. That's a Virginia creeper, not a grape. Check out our bounty.
Thousands
More. We just cannot reach them. So this is what we've got, and we'll save some seed. And
Sorry.
Dad!
My bad.
Plant some more for next season.
Yeah, look at this one I got.
They're so good.
Yeah, they are delicious. The turkey likes to be close.
She stays pretty close all day, doesn't she?
All day she finds someone to hang out with. I have a really healthy snake plant here, and so I'm dividing them out into some other pots. Some indoor. I'm gonna put some over by the outdoor sink. I'm just gonna put them around.
All right, sis. What you working on?
Noodles.
Yeah, what are we gonna have with the noodles?
Vegan ricotta cheese.
Vegan cheese.
All right, how do we make this?
Because it goes and like it's fat and then it's like a big button, yeah, and then they
Wow. Okay.
So just follow that recipe and you've got your vegan ricotta.
Exactly, to the T. We have cashews and tahini and garlic, pizza delivery by Spice Titan. Oh, and lemon, and then we'll blend it together.
And what will that make?
Voila, vegan ricotta cheese.
and cashew and noodles and noodles. Yeah, where's the noodles?
You gotta put them in. We got a little splash on the foot. It burned, but she said she wanted to try again. Thanks for making dinner for us, sis. All right, guys, so we have identified this locust tree. It's kind of leaning over the cabin. It needs to come down anyway, starting to have some issues down here at the bottom. And so we've identified this tree as what we're going to use as the posts. After doing a full assessment of our foundation posts, we've identified 3, maybe 4 that do need to be replaced. So we're gonna use this locust tree. This guy is poking me in the butt. But it's gonna be a little bit difficult getting this cut down without either crushing the pole barn or the camper or the cabin. So we're going to try a few things. So let's give this a try. I'm gonna climb up there and start with a few branches and see what happens.
If you were hoping for the best, then why did you need some tension? Also, like, if something does go wrong, it will fall this way?
Yeah. All right, so I cut it enough where I think I can pull it down with the rover. All right, plan B.
What's plan B?
I don't know yet.
So you don't have a plan B?
We need a plan B. All right, that worked out. So it did fall in the house. I learned a lesson about tension and leverage with the rope, but we were able to end up cutting it at the base then and get it to just basically fold and fall right where we wanted it to. So that worked out. All right, so we got the tree down. What happened at first on the first cut?
It fell in the cabin roof.
It fell the opposite direction I wanted it to fall. All right, so we've been talking through what I did wrong and the lesson that we learned here. Imagine that the tree is a big giant that we're pulling down. Rather than pulling the giant's feet out and making it fall backward, I needed to pull the giant's neck down, making it fall forward. Does that make sense?
Or neck.
Poor giant.
Sorry, giant. So the issue was I cut it too high. What I needed to have done is cut lower or put the rope higher so that instead of tripping it, I'm pulling it down. But it ended up working out because the way it folded, it actually helped us fell it without crashing into the camper. The giant folded in half and then fell over. Hey,
Welcome to the party.
Where you been?
To the jungle.
And we like to always take an opportunity to learn, evaluate every learning situation.
Well, thank you, tree. You're going
This tree
to
is 21 years.
hold up our house. As you can see, we cut down the tree yesterday.
Oh, and Dad,
We finished debarking the logs. We cut them in lengths that we need for under the cabin. And now we're gonna let them dry out for a few weeks. And then I will kind of sand them down and treat them with linseed oil. And then we will put them under the house.
really pretty.
I'm excited about
They're
it.
really, really pretty.
They are pretty. This is super cool. What did you do back here? Oh, the chickens are in here.
Pile of your stuff we found in the ground where at this area that you see where you're right now. Like this was in the ground. There was a bed spring in the ground. We found these two in the ground. Most of the stuff that you see was in the ground. Like even all those pots were in the ground.
Yeah.
Even all those pots were in the. It's a broken cinder block. We call this guy Cinder Face. Because it has a mouth and 2 eyes.
Have an old light up there.
Oh, Mom, also there's some pretty good molds like so cool. It was
That's a
even
good
better
point.
earlier, but just look at that. Over behind the pizza. Yeah.
Yep, some forest floor soil. Yeah, we need to save some of that, huh? Use it in the garden.
For the bunny.
So, I did plant cantaloupe this year. This, however, is not one of them. This is a volunteer from our compost pile. And so we were prepping a new zone to plant in for our fall harvest. And so we've got, a mixture of our compost and everything in with the soil and the worm castings and azomite and mulch and whatnot. And sure enough, literally just a few days after we prepped this bed, this big healthy sprout comes up. Since then, it's become this. And if you'll take a look, we're about to harvest our first cantaloupe from this batch. A beauty of a cantaloupe here. And then all throughout, we've got more on their way. Oh yeah, I hear that.
Wow.
Cut it up right now? Yeah?
So we grew this one?
Nature grew it. It was in the
Plant.
compost.
It was in a compost?
I mean, it grew in our garden, but it came from the compost. It's interesting. It's a little green. I don't know. Well, with the next few, we'll go a little bit longer, but let's give it a taste and just see. All right, we'll taste test. It's like just not right. So the next ones, we'll just let it go longer and see what happens.
Tell us what's going on. It's been a few weeks since the last cantaloupe trial.
Disaster. The last cantaloupe that we had was actually larger than this, but when we cut into it, it was not orange at all. So we're cutting into it today, and so far, so good. We've got some orange here.
All right, tell us about all the other ones, because you had 8 or so grow this year.
Yeah. The bunny rabbits decided that they enjoyed the rind for some reason, and so they went through and they chewed all of the rind off. And then because of that, a bunch of bugs got into the actual cantaloupe.
It definitely wasn't
So-
our bunny.
This is actually a
Store-bought? Okay, so we're gonna compare.
This is
So-
ours.
Big size difference. So store-bought and then
It's the same
ours.
size, but
And we're gonna
it's the same
give it a
size when
taste
this
test.
is
All right,
peeled.
Zay, Manzi, get you a piece.
Cold. It's really cold.
It's been in the fridge. Okay. Great flavor, not very sweet.
Not super sweet, but it is
That was the
soft.
egg, so.
Soft and it tastes like a cantaloupe.
It's interesting because I feel like the one that was not ripe, or the one that wasn't orange, was sweeter.
But it's sweeter.
But
Whoa.
the flavor on the not orange one was good. But
So which
looks
one
good
is
inside.
store-bought? Much sweeter. That one's store-bought.
So store-bought so far is much sweeter.
But I really like the sweet.
You like ours better?
Yeah, ours
How-
is
I would
texture-wise is much better.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So the point is, though,
Combine
we
them,
weren't sure if
right?
these were going to turn out at all because they were volunteers, and we just really didn't know what was going to happen.
Yeah, I
We
look
didn't know what was happening.
We didn't mean to grow these. All right. So that's a cantaloupe win.
So we're working on the back porch, and the reason that this has become a priority is because we have some water that's leaking under the mudroom door. So if you look right here, water is getting underneath here. And so I don't want to finish the flooring. You can see where we have the finished flooring here. I don't want to finish the flooring if water's still leaking in. So we're going to eventually do a porch anyway, and so figure we go ahead and get the porch on with the roof.
So then we can finish the floor.
And then water won't leak in, then we can finish the floor and finish the mudroom. So that's what we're doing now. We're using all leftover lumber from the cabin.
Are you gonna build a floor?
Yeah, eventually. We don't have the decking right now. So eventually there'll be a deck. For now, it'll just be the roof.
So today I am headed into the garden and I am going to try something this year where I'm going to try to bring in as many plants as I can that will die over the winter if I just leave them, and see how many I can try to keep alive. For instance, from our compost alone, I have at least 3 or 4 avocado trees, whereas last season I had about 10 that just grew up on their own. And I let them go, and of course over the winter they died off. So I'm going to see if I can keep those growing indoor, because they're a little over a foot now. I've got papaya trees, same thing. I like to just sow seed. Whatever I eat, I like to put it out there and just see what nature's gonna do with it. And sure enough, we had several papaya trees pop up. About 3 of them grew to about 1.5 feet. So I brought some of those inside. I'm gonna try peppers and tomatoes. So I'm gonna head to the garden and we're gonna try to transplant some things and see how they grow. I did this at the beginning of the week. It is now at the end of the week. A few of the plants got a little bit sad. As you can see, some of the papaya didn't quite make it, but this papaya is super happy, so I'm excited about that. We'll see how that one keeps growing. The rest of them are super happy. 3 avocado trees, 4 sweet potato plants. We've got a basil plant. We've got a yarrow plant. Here we have a hot pepper. I planted a bunch of things all in one little space. We've got tomatoes, we've got basil, we've got dill, we've got pepper plants, and they are doing really awesome. We even have some new growth happening. So we'll continue to check back in with these puppies.
Guys, as always, thanks for watching. Thanks for being here with us. Grow wild with us at Wild Ridge, and we'll see you next time.
Oh my God!